Hey, buddy.
Oh, Chief.
Sorry about that. Almost lost track of time there. I got a fire outside my property right now, so I'm keeping an eye on it.
Oh shit. Like, if you gotta go, you gotta go. I completely understand that.
No, I know. I'll just if it comes down to it, I'll just say, hey, I got to dip. Welcome this light. So we're still doing this, right? Okay. No, I hear you. I've been waiting for this all day, actually. Car? No, fire chief. Okay. No, we got an app for that now. Mm-hmm. Discord speaking.
All right, for those of you, the last person will come in later. I would like to welcome everyone here to the first episode of the Unpatched podcast, where we just do one thing here. We keep it honest, we keep it truthful, and we just keep it raw. I am your host, a man with a master plan, and somehow we're able to get these people to actually agree to come to a podcast, which it's not easy. It's really not. I will introduce them one by one. First, I'm going to introduce the only speedrunner that I happen to know on Assassin's Creed, which I didn't think was possible, but I got proven wrong. We got Mad Curious Gamer over here. Say hi to the lovely people. We got one of my best homies going back a very, very, very long time. He is a father, he is a gamer, and believe it or not, he's an actual fucking knight. And I'm not even joking about that last part. This man can joust you off a horse, and I would just go, hey, you're going to be on the ground for a while. Monsieur Sir Connor. And last but not least, a new brother I got to realize and get to know a little bit through his Twitter posts. He is a professional shit talker, and another one of my friends has entered the chat.
I'm the professional shit talker.
You're one of those, but you're not the only one.
All right, so who's competing for my title?
This is a man who basically he says what the fuck he wants, and if you don't like it, he kind of has a point to tell you to go fuck off. Maximum Spider, I bow down to him. I will say he's the only real Black Spider-Man I know. So we bow down really quick to Black Spider-Man. How you doing, sir?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
And then last but not least, we've got he's a businessman, he's a father, he's a computer. I wouldn't say what your profession is, but your profession is too complicated for me to think of half the time.
I work in information security and cryptographic systems analysis.
There you go. He is also a gamer, and he also has opinions on this. So I would like to welcome y'all, Psycho Enigma, my best friend going on about 10 years now. Say hi to the people. Do what you want to do, but don't get me kicked off the channel, please, because I worked really hard to get here. I'm trying to keep them. Please,
I will do my best.
All right, so here's how this is going to work. We got 3 topics today. One topic I added just because I saw it today, and I thought we would start off with it. PlayStation has made a patent. For those of y'all who don't know, PlayStation is already in hot water for a lot of things they keep doing, and they don't seem to care. But this one I thought was funny. They made a patent for a buttonless controller. So, first they took our games, now they're taking the buttons off our controllers. Anyone can start. I will let whoever wants to have an opinion start with it.
I want no part of it. I want no part of a controller that doesn't have buttons on it. I am so bad at typing on my phone. I don't know. I need joysticks. I need buttons. Absolutely not. I personally think this is worse than if they were to replace real controllers with a controller that has a digital interface, I think that would be worse than getting rid of physical games. Unpopular opinion.
That's actually it's the first I'm hearing about it, so I'm looking it up, and that's exactly what it is. They're doing a digital display with it, which I don't know which generation you guys came into gaming on. I may or may not have started with the original NES, but I grew up where a whole lot of people did a lot of button mashing. So for me, if you go to a digital display, you're begging for people to break those motherfuckers constantly. So I fully expect that's a power move just to pull money.
Spider-Man, you got anything you want to say?
Realistically, this is something that would never happen. Every generation we see a million different patents for different things. They patent the fucking robots playing the games for you, and they patent different stuff every generation. I remember last generation they had patent like a screen on the PS4 controller, digital. These things just get patent just in case somebody that is higher up, or somebody else wants to do it, they can't do it. These days it's just not gonna. Realistically, that's something that wouldn't happen, I don't think.
Connor,
this is a tech market. The technology is always going to be growing. It's always going to be changing. People are going to be throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. Okay, y'all remember the Power Glove? Okay,
I
we're gonna.
didn't think.
I mean,
We bringing up
yeah,
the Power
Okay.
Glove.
we're going old school
Nah,
with it. So they're gonna try
it-
something new. They're gonna try a new technology. It may work. It may work or not work. I don't think it's gonna work, and I think it's gonna go to the way of the dodo pretty quickly.
See, you bring up the Power Glove. That was a hell of a concept, very poorly executed. But if you try to do a newer version like now, what they could do with that now, that'd be a fucking game changer now.
Right,
Oh.
but the technology has advanced since then. It was a great idea at the time, but like you said, poorly executed. Obviously, there are a lot of things they could have done better about it, and it dropped. It went away. Now it's a collector's item if you can find one. But yeah, if they took newer technology like that we have now and reapplied it to the Power Glove, it might be something. But that may be also the same direction they're thinking with this digital display controller thing.
Yeah, I don't see
I mean,
that
if you think
working.
about it, I know with the older controllers, but this was a controller. Like
Did you look at what they were talking about, or like what the whole concept is? Did you look that up at all? Because I just
I
did.
haven't had a chance yet. I'm only just hearing about it.
Yeah, well, as soon as you said that, I'm like, "There's no way," and I went and looked it up. It is a flat display that is a digital display, and I'm guessing by the look of it, it's either IR or heat sensor. So I mean, there's really nothing to it. The way I'm seeing that is somebody's going to get pissed off. There's no button. They're going to keep bashing it because they're not getting a response, and they're hitting the wrong area. So I fully see that. While the concept is a hell of an idea, I see it as strictly a money grab
See,
because
based
people
on
are
what
going
you-
to.
here,
Go
here's
ahead.
But-
Sorry.
no, you're fine. We're here to have a conversation. It's fine.
No. I'm not. Well, I'm not. Well, I didn't mean to cut him off. I just what he just said about how it's described everything like that reminds me of iPads. iPads and a lot of the games on the iPads are doing exactly that, and they have been for some time.
Here's hold on 1 second, Psycho. Here's my like 2 cents on this. I feel like would be a really bad slippery slope. I'm a fighting game junkie. Imagine someone doing that with a fight stick. I will
Well,
get
fight mechanics would probably change, but no.
Okay, go ahead.
I have an example. Sorry, I'm trying to put my words together on this. My son plays a Godzilla themed kaiju battle game on his iPad, and he kicks ass with it.
Well, here's my thing about that. If example, let's play a little like imagination game where they actually made the fight stick with basically just a joystick and an LED display. How much lag are you going to get when you're putting your inputs in? How much, let's just say, how much can it be affected while you're actually playing the game? How much is it going to affect if you're actually playing for like high stakes, like actual, like you're getting paid for this? And you can't even pull off a simple combo because HD is just not responding to you, or it's lagging out to the point you can't do anything.
The only option they're going to have at that point is to find some way to integrate something like that into a VR setting. I mean, there's no other option. And even then, it's going to be what, maybe fucking 80 to 1 that they're going to make this shit successful every time.
Very true. We've seen that a lot of VR games don't really live up to the hype that they were supposed to be. But
Oh no, I'm not saying the game itself. I'm saying because the game could be a fucking awesome game. There's a lot of the games that if you take the VR out of it are fucking amazing games, but the technology needed for the VR side of it
isn't here
is
yet.
just no. It's just so choppy. Like if somebody who moves, what was it, the Beat Saber, for one of those. Some people got so damn good at that repetitive motion that they can move their arms so fucking quickly that it doesn't register. And people who have a martial arts background, if you're considering using something that I see as probably resembling a bow staff, it's not going to register. So I don't see how that would even work.
Well, Spidey, I want to ask you a question specifically because I've been watching you play Marvel Token and I've been on the beta also. How would you feel if like they gave you that new controller that has just an LED display of buttons and you were playing in a tournament for some high stakes and it didn't really work the way it's intended to?
I mean, it's just not viable. It's just not viable, which is why I don't put a lot of like claim or a lot of stake into it. I mean, because like I said, they just patent stuff all the time. Like even back in 2023, they patented a controller, a PlayStation controller that has buttons that you can remove. So whereas though like the 4 face buttons on the PlayStation controller, you can completely remove all of those buttons. And if you were playing like a platformer game, you could just put one big X in the middle of the controller and just have that one button. Like it's just a patent. These things don't come to life. Logically, this is not something that's feasible or even realistic to have come packed in with a system or to have as a main controller. Now, what I will say is I see something like this being a patent for maybe if they decided to do sort of like Xbox does and they just where you can just play, let's say they have PlayStation Plus on a TV or something like that. And they say, hey, we give you this controller that doesn't come with buttons for half the cost of a DualSense 6. So I could see it being more like that, something for like a streaming service or something that you could use on your phone. But just realistically and logically, that something like that without buttons just would not be feasible for any type of, an action game, a fighting game, or racing game. It's just not feasible for any of that stuff. So
Well, Xbox, I know, did develop an actual controller for disabled gamers so that they could play, and
Yep.
their controller does work very well. But
yeah,
I'm
PlayStation
They
has
don't-
one too. They have one too, a disabled controller that has the one joystick and the buttons all around it, the interchangeable buttons.
Microsoft, I believe, and I'd have to look it up to see whether or not that's still valid. But for a while there, if you were able to prove like you were a dedicated gamer for Microsoft products and prove that having that would actually help you to do so, they would send it. Like they just
well, I mean, well, since you mentioned Microsoft, let's talk on that subject. So, Microsoft,
why do we want to bring the devil in here?
you brought the devil in here, sir. You opened your mouth. You
Okay,
spoke about
Xbox
it.
is
No, you spoke
Xbox is a Microsoft product. I am not talking about the entirety rest of Microsoft, but it is a Microsoft product. Outside of the Xbox, don't bring the fucking devil around me.
Look, we gotta talk about it because it's part of news. So
Deal with that shit for.
Xbox basically gutted most of their company that makes games for some reason. I don't know why they did it. Like the company that made South of Midnight, Ninja Gaiden, State of Decay, games that were supposed to be coming out have now their studios are now independent. I'm at this point trying to figure out what they're doing.
If you look at it, what is it, 10 and 15 years ago, games were being pushed out so hard, so fast, and they were spectacular. Like they've all become a lot of iconic games. Those are the guys who were just released, and unfortunately, gaming is stalled because those guys are still running the forefront. So all these, a lot of the new ideas and all this shit that we could be getting is stalled because the guys who created something 10 and 15 years ago are still in the, well, I don't know.
Okay, Matt, I'll let you talk because you seem like you got an opinion on it, and I'm waiting to hear this.
I mean, we have such long development cycles now, right? It's just destroying everything because by the time they get something out, it might not even be what the market wants anymore. They're having to predict so far ahead. And so they're getting rid of the ones where they think they're not going to make the most profit for whatever reason. And it might be getting rid of games that we really like. And I even brought up a point. Well, I know we'll talk about it, in a little bit. But I made up a point where I said, with boycotting PlayStation, that's going to be the first result. Is not going to be, oh, PlayStation gets your message and they're going to change their ways. No, they're just going to start laying off entire studios. You know what I mean? That's really what's going to happen. Or they're going to let them go independent, and you never know what's going to happen. Maybe it'll be better, but at the end of the day, they're going to change the people that are working underneath them because that's the easiest cost to just kind of cut and have a big impact. It is generally the biggest cost on any company's P&L. So we're talking about people's jobs at that point, not really getting your way most of the time. That's why boycotts against a lot of these giants are generally not going to work. And it's just going to result in that. And people thought I was crazy for it, but we are literally seeing it with Microsoft right now. We've seen it with all of the different large gaming companies over and over again, where they'll get rid of these studios when things aren't going well. And I don't want to see that personally, because I'd love to see more awesome games. I actually really liked South of Midnight. Not, a lot of people were talking a lot of crap about it. I loved it. It was one of the only new games I played last year, and it had beautiful music, a beautiful story. I think I cried at one point. It was good. It was really good.
Maximum, you
No,
got.
and two. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hold on. Maximum, you got any opinions on this?
I think that when you bring in a new CEO that's so profit driven, and then you look at where Xbox has been since Phil Spencer has took over, which has basically been nowhere. You look at the reports, the court reports, they're saying Game Pass is not profitable. They're saying that it cannibalizes sales. You know, they're making these games like South of Midnight and what's the other one? It was like a story picture book game. I can't remember, but they make all these types of very unique games, and nobody buys them. So ultimately, you can't just look at the CEO. You have to look at the consumer, and that's where I just place a lot of the blame, because you have these very unique games coming out, very good games. South of Midnight as well was one of the I would say was one of the best games I played last year on Xbox. I really enjoyed it, but nobody played it. So it's only but so long you're gonna put out South of Midnight. You're gonna put out Outer Worlds. You're gonna put out Ninja Gaiden 4. You're gonna put out these games that nobody's buying before eventually the people are gonna look at the numbers and say, why are we making these games when they're all getting outsold by Call of Duty? So logistically, it starts and ends with the consumer. People always get on the internet and they get on this high horse and they say, "Oh well, people are making the same games. We're tired of the same stuff," but nobody buys the new IPs. You have to support these games in order for them to thrive, and that's what happens.
Now, what you're saying there with Game Pass, one of the things I originally thought, and for some odd reason has not been considered by Microsoft to begin with, and I have no fucking idea why. Make it a preview. Don't give the entire game. Turn around and tell, if you download a game out of Game Pass and list it as a free game, give like 200 hours. Imagine how far and how invested you're going to get in a game at 200 hours. Particularly if it's a bunch of RPGs or something of that nature. It gives you time to get in and understand and determine whether or not you want the game. Then you have a reason to go buy it.
Now, before I rebuttal on that, sir, Connor, did you have anything to add?
I think we, in this conversation, we have to be careful of mixing genres. Comparing a story-driven game like, say, Pragmata to Call of Duty just doesn't work. They're two completely separate games. Call of Duty is always going to have a niche. It's always going to have its core group of people that are they're so excited for Call of Duty 32 to be coming out, and there's going to be other gamers that are looking for more story-driven games. They're looking for Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed kept working because it has a core story in it that you can get into. So you really can't compare the two of them. Now, why are they not buying them anymore? I don't know. Maybe there's so many varying opinions on that. Story doesn't work. Maybe they're just tired of certain characters. Maybe they're tired. There's just so many different aspects that you can't just really boil it down to one thing.
Okay. I'm going to rebuttal on both of these. Psycho, here's the thing. You say 200 hours, right? They made a whole thing for your problem. It's called a demo. And then they stopped making demos.
Yes, but demos, a lot of the demos actually cut off at like maybe a certain level or within like maybe 5 to 10 hours. I'm saying if we take some of these RPGs, some of these first-person shooters that have a lot that you can do to them, and put those into Game Pass. So I'm talking Elder Scrolls Online. You can lose yourself for thousands of hours in that game. Here's 200 for free. Get lost. Buy the game. Call of Duty. Here's a brand new Call of Duty. Everybody's gonna want to play it online. Here's 200 hours. Get invested. Buy it.
but doesn't that do a slippery slope? If I can get 200 hours out of the game, I know English, I know how to use it. If I can get 200 hours out of the game and then get lost from it, you may not actually want to play the game after a while. Those 200 hours, you can just go, hey, I got 200 hours out of the game. I got some achievements. I didn't really like the game. I can keep it moving.
Yeah, 200 hours is a lot. That's why I like the demo version better. If you create an environment that says these are the features of this game, this is what you can look forward to, buy it.
Oh, I'm saying like if they wanted to do with like Game Pass, because a 10-hour demo for me is just annoying. Because if I'm in the middle of trying to do something, like I'm still trying to understand a game within 10 hours personally. Because I try to understand every aspect and every facet. Black Ops saw me going through multiple games where I'm asking a ton of questions and literally running into stupid shit trying to understand every aspect of it. He's laughing at me the whole time. So 10 hours for me is just annoying. But if you take something that a fan base can have thousands of hours in and still be dedicated to, that needs to go into Game Pass. That is what needs to actually give you the option. By all means, have the demo for the game. Because if somebody can play that 10 hours or that 2 hours or whatever it is and determine whether or not they like it, great. But there's a lot of people that want to really dig in and understand a game before they choose to buy something like that. Those are the ones that I think need to be in Game Pass, where you have that, hell, drop it down to 50 hours, drop it down to 100 hours, whatever, but enough time to really get invested into the core of the game to determine whether or not they want to buy the game.
All right. I hear what you're saying. And anyone else can rebuttal. You don't have to wait for me just to like hit y'all up that this is not.
I'm gonna just say this real quick before you go. I think that 100 hours or 200 hours in a game, in a service, I think that works really good for something like Elder Scrolls or Fallout 76 or World of Warcraft. But for the majority of games, it's just not feasible. If somebody plays, let's say, Outer Wilds, which is a very deep RPG, for 200 hours, you've done everything in the game. If you play Halo for 200 hours, you're done with the game. You play
Oh, no,
South of
I
Midnight.
completely
You play
agree
South
with
of
you.
Midnight.
That's the whole reason I use that. I completely agree. That's why I use the examples that I did, because those ones I know people can lose thousands of hours in. So if by all means scale those down and put up there, if you go to play it, say you have this amount of time. When you press the button, your time starts. So if you know somebody can run through the entirety of a game and do everything that there is in 4.5 hours, you have 35 minutes. Go for it.
Oh, okay. But what if you got? And I'm gonna use it as an example because she's here. And I can use it as an example. A speedrunner. Like if
And
you,
they have everybody at a disadvantage then,
that's the
because
whole
they
thing.
can figure this shit.
Like for example, Mad holds the record for speedrunning Assassin's Creeds. She holds that. And if you say give her 50 hours, she'll be done in 20 and be like, "Thanks for the free game."
Yes and no. I don't do first playthroughs fast. It's learning the speed run right and then doing it later. Right now, I haven't even finished Resynced. Even though I have the OG, the record in the OG Black Flag. I haven't even finished Resynced.
Look, you're still looking at freckles on titties. Yes, I am going to call you out on that. You are still going to look at freckles on titties, and I laugh.
I saw so many people complaining about the DEI in the game, and I was like, first of all, there's like, I don't know what you're talking about because it looks the same. There's titties. Like I don't know what you're looking for, but the titties look the same, if not more detailed, which was exactly why I posted that. Just messing with people who are like complaining to complain and probably haven't even played the game. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I got no problem with that. I got a giggle. So.
Yeah.
And Matt, correct me if I'm wrong here, but nobody who does any of the speed runs for anything is going to do that first out, because they need to scope out, hey, is this a possibility? Is this a possibility? They need to figure out any option that can help them to shortcut that. So even then, that time frame for that demo would help them to do that.
Yeah, it could. I mean, I know one guy who was already mapping out the 100% run within like a week. So he was doing, because I'm friends with some of the other speedrunners. So he was already mapping out the 100% of resynced, and one person already has a run in on the board. So I mean, people will do it pretty fast, but I think a lot of those people are spending a lot of hours in the game. We're talking, you're probably not doing that until at least 40 to 50 hours in the game minimum, and then probably for most people, closer to getting between 50 and 100 hours where you would even consider it.
So, to lighten the mood a little bit, I'd like us all to play a game. If you'd like to participate, this game is called Play Keep Burn. You play this game. You either play the game, you keep it in your physical library forever. It means you get an actual copy of it, the disc and all, or you burn it to the ground because you're just done with the bullshit. The first one is called Open World Giants. I'm gonna give you the games: Grand Theft Auto 5, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, or Elder Scrolls Skyrim. What are y'all doing?
Oh, that's a hard one.
I know, that's the whole point.
Yeah, can we go one step forward and live in one of those? Because that'd be great.
What was that first game again?
Grand Theft Auto 5,
I'm burning that.
Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
All right, burning GTA.
Okay, damn, you gonna
Keeping.
make the GTA fan, man. I'm good with it. Make it bad. I'm glad.
Let's see. Keeping would be Witcher, because for me that's a fun chipper game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one's gonna go to Skyrim, because I finished that and I was done playing with it after that point.
So what you're saying is you're protecting Witcher 3, you're burning GTA, and you're just gonna keep playing Skyrim. You're good. I'm just gonna keep being there for a while.
No, flip that. I'm gonna keep playing Witcher because I still haven't finished that one. I just chip away at it.
Okay, so you're gonna keep that, and you're going to basically play it one last time. Be like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
All right.
So I have a funny one, because I think I would get rid of Skyrim like Connor would. Funny enough, though, I would want to protect GTA, which is hilarious since GTA 6 isn't gonna have a physical copy. But I would protect GTA 5.
And it's been delayed again.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and clip this for later, just for later experiments. Spidey, it's on you.
This is a pretty easy one for me because my gaming tastes are based around games that have good gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Can we curse on here, or we keep it clean?
Man,
We can
everyone,
curse.
everyone here got a potty mouth. Go.
All right, bet. I don't give a fuck how good your world is. I don't give a fuck how good your story is. I don't give a fuck how good your side content. I don't give a fuck if I could walk into every building on the map. If the core gameplay sucks and is not fun to play, I'm not gonna play it. So with that being said, I would burn GTA because GTA 5 is stiff, the shooting is terrible, the melee is horrible, the driving sucks. It's not a fun game to play. It has everything else but good gameplay. I would play Elder Scrolls because Elder Scrolls has a good world, a lot of interactivity, a lot of things you can do. But again, the combat sucks, the traversal sucks. I don't give a fuck about it. So I would keep Witcher, because although Witcher is not the best game in terms of gameplay, right? Witcher is not great gameplay. The melee is not so amazing. It's okay. But I think it's the best out of those three choices. So I would keep Witcher, burn, what I said, burn, Grand Theft Auto, and play Elder Scrolls.
That is super fair. Rockstar gameplay is not. It's
Rockstar gameplay has never been that way. GTA 3 was that. It has never changed.
Yeah.
It's hit or miss. It really depends upon the Rockstar game, though.
Hold on, Psycho. I know you've been brewing over there. What you got?
I'm gonna have to go with Connor and Maximum on this one because, GTA, while fun, the gameplay is absolute shit, and there's a lot more versatility in Skyrim, but it's so repetitive and limited. But as Connor mentioned, he has not finished playing The Witcher 3 yet because he's probably stuck on his 300,000th side quest.
True, I am a loot goblin.
So am I.
All right. I'm gonna get so much slack for this. I'm gonna play Witcher 3 Wild Hunt one last time because I've had so much fun with it. I've done everything to the point I'm like, I can get one more enjoyment out of this. I'm with y'all in burning GTA. GTA is not really fun after a long period of time. You get annoyed by just being it.
Okay, do you know what the only way anybody's going to be able to find entertainment, like real joy in GTA anymore?
Role play.
RP?
No. If you go in there and you find those 13 and 14-year-olds that are just getting their voice to crack, and you start blowing their shit up.
Oh my god.
Because then it becomes like the Call of Duty back in the early 2000s.
You know
That's
what?
basically Rust
You know
right
what?
now.
Hold on. You know what? Thank you for bringing up GTA. We will come back to this game. Thank you for bringing up Call of Duty because I've been waiting for someone to say that evil word. So I want to address PlayStation fans for a minute and just look at y'all. So y'all bought a 15-year-old game that wasn't upgraded, that still cost you $40 a piece, and they fixed nothing in the game, and y'all decided, hey, we should buy this game anyway. And
What game are we talking about?
I'm not a person who buys a lot of the Call of Duties anymore, personally. But I can understand why people do, and even with like the sports games people buy over and over. I know people make fun of them all the time, and it is fun to tease them. But I actually understand why they're doing what they're doing, because they like mastery as much as I like in speedrunning. It's part of why I got into speedrunning, was because I wanted that level of mastery that people have in multiplayer. And so they'll master that game, and they'll all have these leaderboards and the types of games that they're playing in it and the maps, and they'll want that new version with new weapons, new maps, new. And so yes, it's the same thing, but there's like just enough change to shake it up for them where they're like, okay, time to master this new evolution of what I love.
And that's not why I'm mad.
Yeah.
Mad. I like that pun.
See what you did there?
The reason why I'm mad is because they went in Call of Duty lobbies and they weren't ready for what happened. They weren't ready for OG Call of Duty lobbies, where people got a lot of words were used. I'm not gonna repeat them because there's a lot of slurs that get used in Call of Duty games that are the OG ones. As many times as someone told me they're going to do things to my mother that I was not appreciative of, I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, with them revamping like the Modern Warfare and all this, like the only thing that game did for anything with going back and remaking it is they took all of those people who'd retired their Call of Duty controller and brought the teabaggers out. That's all it did.
And that's
yeah. I mean, I'm Gen X. I can dish it better than they can, but it's just that's not entertaining for me. I enjoyed Call of Duty for the campaigns, and then the campaign suddenly became a 10-minute. That's and that's in the long form. It was a 10 minutes because they want you to go online. They want you to play multiplayer stuff. And sorry, multiplayer sucks.
I'm with you there because the original couple of Call of Duties where you're actually going through all the different towns and you got to find that random motherfucker who's popping up out of nowhere and trying to get you from the side of the building. The original fucking Call of Duties, those were awesome. When you brought the multiplayer aspect into it, it went to shit.
Well, here's my thing. This is just someone who plays certain shooter games. I appreciated shooters that actually required you to work together. I was a big SOCOM fan. SOCOM was my game. That at 3 a.m. with your friends was really hilarious.
Battlefield 6 is fun for that exact reason.
Rainbow Six.
He says that he enjoys the games you have to work together, but if you want to deal with see him deal with trauma, ask him about running around on Destiny 2 with me.
Psycho, I'm going to tell you this. As much as I love you, fuck you and the unholy hellfire you put me through. Fuck you for every time you use me as a goddamn bullet shield.
My god, this sounds like story time to me.
Fuck you for every time you push me off a goddamn cliff when I went to go to the bathroom. Fuck you for also using me as a Galahorn sponge during Crota raids. I have not forgotten. I'm just waiting for my vengeance. There's a difference.
I'm sure there's video evidence somewhere too.
I would flip you the bird, but then I'd have to bleep that for YouTube. So read between the lines, okay? Rewrite between them.
Like I said, I'm sure somebody somewhere has video evidence of all the dumb shit that I
the
did to
video
you.
evidence. But all right, we're gonna get into one of the main topics today. Consumer rights. And this is one thing I want to talk about. I feel like at this point in gaming, we are losing literally all our rights to what we purchase. Every game that we've ever done something awesome in, we're basically losing. PlayStation has basically said, "Hey, you own it as long as we say you can own it." And this goes with GTA being $100, but you don't get anything for it. I understand you guys were to load the game early. I got no problem with that.
Keep going.
Why are you slapping me in my chat? I can't stand you right now. I understand that the game looks great, but I don't understand that you haven't seen gameplay of this supposed game. And then you're telling me this game is awesome, but you've seen just cutscenes. I need someone to explain that mentality to me.
So I
Because
think this is going to be a double-edged sword. I believe a lot of the reason they're trying to do this, at least from my point of view, and please, anybody that doesn't feel the same way, let me know where you differ on this. But all the different people who are in there doing stupid shit, griefing everybody, if you have enough complaints against you for the same shit, it ain't got to be like 200-300 from the same one person within a 10-minute span. Okay, get rid of those. That's pointless. But over, say, 180 days, if you have 60 people over 180 days saying, well, this guy's a douche, then maybe you don't need an account.
okay, Spidey.
So you asking why people want to get excited for games with no gameplay?
No, I'm saying why. First of all, I was saying I feel like in general we're losing consumer rights to our games. Basically, we're losing the right just to have a game and say it's ours.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also trying to understand why gamers are just flocking to a game that's not showing you anything, but it's just like it has a great name. Like, okay, maybe I'm just getting old.
I mean, personally, that's not for me. I don't even. I really need to see what the game is about and really see raw, unedited gameplay. But you know, people just get excited for the hot new shit. Like, you know, at the end of the day. So,
Yeah.
like GTA 5 is just such a big community. So popular with people that it's one of those things. It's like McDonald's, right? It's like McDonald's of video games.
Mm-hmm.
Kids gonna always want McDonald's, no matter if you know there's a place that has better nuggets or better prices. It's just a name. It's a name ring, and you know most casual people, period, they go for the name. It's not about the quality. It's never been about the quality. It's an unfortunate thing, but I mean that just is what it is.
Well, it's not so much.
I'm gonna throw something at you on that. What?
Go ahead.
Okay, so McDonald's, using the McDonald's analogy for the kids. What are the kids like getting? Happy Meals. Well, what's in that Happy Meal? A toy. So when you go paying for a lot of games, you're paying $100, $150 for a game, and you're not getting anything for it anymore. We used to get collector shit. You know, for you pay an extra, because the game is the game. You pay, it may probably make cost some $40 to take and make the game. They sell it for $70, but then they sell a $100 extended version of it, and you get collector stuff. Like when I bought Assassin's Creed 2, you know, that I get to keep for that's mine forever. You know,
I still have
that's
the
$100
Gears of
well
War
spent.
3 Marcus Phoenix statue.
Here's the thing though, Connor. If you knew that, you know, all of your fans were stupid enough to say, hey, let's remove the toy and we still gonna spend the money anyway. Would that matter?
Buying it
Like,
anymore. I'm not buying the special edition anymore because
yeah,
that's
but
exactly the point. That's exactly
listen,
the point.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But the casual audience just don't see it that way, and those are the people that are spending billions of dollars on GTA Online and Call of Duty and my team points on every year.
And so I can provide a little context into that since I seem like the only one who might even be buying it. So with GTA, right? Like I agree, the McDonald's analogy is actually perfect. It's that game that is you're gonna get consistently that thing that you're looking for from it, just like McDonald's. Like rather than going somewhere else where it might be a higher quality burger, higher quality nugget, whatever, and you're like, I want that one, right? You want this one specifically because it's a flavor that you know, that you respect, that you like, even if it's not good, right? Even if you know it's not healthy for you. But some of these other restaurants, maybe they have less consistent quality, or maybe they have a very specific flavor that isn't as palatable at any given time. You know, the way that food is and the way that games are, they come up with something that is going to be just extremely palatable at any given time, even if it's not the highest quality thing. And I think that's what's happening in gaming. And so for me, when I see GTA 6, I'm like, I'm going to buy it. Doesn't matter that there's, you know, no gameplay or anything. I already know it's going to look like GTA 5, but better, generally. You can pretty much assume that. Is there a chance it's not? Sure. But generally, we can assume it's going to be GTA 5 with better graphics, a few more things we've never seen before all at once. It's probably not going to be anything super, super new in terms of gameplay because they're not known for gameplay, but it is probably going to be this new all-encompassing experience of things that we haven't had altogether in that way. And I think it is in some ways going to be the highest quality game that exists because of that. And not in gameplay, but in all of these aspects of like the overarching experience of the game, I think will be the highest quality in some ways that we've ever seen, which is why I personally want to take part in it. I'm like, I have to see what they do and see if it's really that good, because that's how a lot of people feel about RDR2, is that all-encompassing experience of I'm a cowboy, like all this stuff, right? That's what GTA 6 is going to be for people.
So I have a question. The first question I ever got on my YouTube. So I have a question for everybody. Saliva Slayer, I don't know why you made that your name, but continue. Says, how do you feel about GTA 6 basically locking shops behind a paywall?
Hate it.
I
absolutely hate it.
I don't care at all. It's a cosmetic.
Like, I hate I was about to say, I hate to say it. It's a cosmetic thing. You don't have to care about it.
Well, and here's the thing. So this winds up being the going back to the original comment about the kids, you know, this younger generation essentially being stupid and buying the game anyways because it's GTA 6. Well, they're also getting snake oil. They're also talking to a snake oil salesman. They're being promised all of this stuff, but they're not getting told what's underneath it. Back when we were doing the physical collector stuff, like RDR2 was the last game I ever paid extra for the collector stuff. I got a deck of cards and a map and all this like physical stuff that also I got to use within the game too. But they were just cool, and it's mine. It's mine forever. I don't have to pay extra for that. I don't have to go into the game. I don't do microtransactions to take and pay forever. Yeah, cosmetic stuff don't ever have to pay for that if I don't want to. But why can't we collect them? Why can't we have, like we used to, the in-game quests or accomplishments or whatever that unlock that piece for you? They're charging you more money for a game, and yes, it's newer technology, and they're kind of paying for the use of that technology and everything that kind of comes along with it. And then they're nickeling and diming you for more stuff behind that. So if you want to do microtrans, drop the price of that for a little bit, because you're still going to make your profit off of people that want to take and get those cosmetics and 100% everything.
Psycho, you had a comment you wanted to say?
Oh, I got a couple. One, I completely agree that hiding everything behind a buy here, pay here wall is fucking ridiculous. It is stupid as hell. It's effectively killing the game before it ever becomes a game. If that's the way they want to do it, then great. Watch Rockstar just fucking fall. I really don't give a shit. Secondly, when it comes to everything else and all these people who are like, oh, I got to have this game because this is this game. I'm in my early 40s. Okay? I know Connor is probably right around the same age, if not that much older than I am. And I think Connor, so much between you and I generation here, is the one entirely responsible for that. Because my 16-year-old, my 10-year, well, he's 11 now, hear me talking about all these games that I played growing up, and my 16-year-old is like, "Oh yeah, it's Call of Duty. It's a great game. You ever played it? No, but it's a great game. I want them all." You've never played one of them, but they're great games. Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Well,
hearing us talk about what we did when we were kids and how all these different games were what they were to us because new technology, new scenarios, new gameplay, all these new things.
mhm.
Hearing us talk about it, our kids or other generations below us immediately jump on and go, "Oh, that's got to be the greatest thing in the world." And they really don't give a damn what they're doing. They're just buying it for the name because they heard
Well,
it so many times.
that may also come to, how am I gonna put this? People who play games versus people who just watch people play games. Because there's a really big difference, and I think that's what's happening in this generation. Correct me if I'm wrong.
What's
Anybody can step in. I'm not going to tell y'all to shut the fuck up. But this, not just this generation.
Says the guy who's presently on
Yeah,
YouTube and
yeah,
probably Twitch. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
tell me.
But I actually do play games. I complete games. It's part of my
Yeah.
setting. It's default.
But you are right, because there's people like when I stream, there's people watching me play the game to watch the content. They don't want to play it. They want to see how the story unfolds. They want to see how I make the story unfold. There's watchers and there's players when it comes to when it comes to the online content stuff. And I mean, I'm okay with it. It's fine by me because I'm sharing a story with them basically, but they're not getting the experience of playing the game. They're just getting the experience of watching it like it's a TV show or something.
Okay, so how many of you guys remember the days of Mixer before Twitch really made it out there?
Yeah.
So
I got
back
I got late into this game.
So me and Black Up would play, and I'd be streaming a whole bunch of shit on Mixer. And he remembers the days where I would let whoever the hell was watching determine what our loadout was, who was on what team. And we just have a lobby full of people with whatever the hell somebody chose for us. And we're just laughing, cutting up, and killing each other on this damn thing just because, well, fuck it, why not? It's a first person shooter.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of shit's gone to the wayside because everybody's like, well, if you're doing this, we're watching you go through the playthrough, and then they're criticizing you because you made an entirely different thing or a different decision instead of saying, hey, on your next playthrough, why not do this? It's all become nothing more than a shit talking now. And to me personally, it's fucking annoying.
Yeah, it is very negative all the time. I mean, but you have to, I mean, in stream, at least for me, I have very much worked hard to have my chat have a very specific energy all the time. And
Oh,
so
I don't even want to
know,
speculate as to how bad it is for you because female gamers, I know you guys get it a lot worse than anybody else because
it's definitely not now. I mean, because I'm not in multiplayer to be fair, and I think it would be much more toxic if I were. But my chat is not toxic at all, only because I worked 6 years to make it that way. So it is a very specific vibe. If anybody comes in, they try to be toxic, they will get eaten alive.
Yeah, I had to build this brick by brick.
Well, when I say this, I'm referring to female gamers as a whole. I'm great. You meant as to break that cycle. I really am.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, it's immediately, oh, you're a girl. Well, you don't have no place here. That's fucking horse shit. If you can pick up a controller, you have a fucking place here.
Yep.
I've heard constantly people talk about, well, I'm not any good. Are you having fun? Then who the fuck cares?
Yep.
You don't have to be good.
Spidey?
I think that I think that the consumer trends, like for me personally, I'm not pre-ordering Grand Theft Auto until I see that the movement is responsive, the shooting has to be crispy, and the melee has to be worth a shit. But at the end of the day, I'm in a very minority, right? You look on the PlayStation Store, the number one pre-order game is the $100 edition. So, you know, regardless of what we think, I think that the kids ultimately continue to dictate the bottom line. I mean, like when we were growing up, or at least me, I started on the Genesis, like, you know, and I would play Streets of Rage or I would play X-Men, and I would just be content with that for
the X-Men
for forever.
awesome.
Just play them games every day over and over and over and over and over and over. But the kids nowadays is they see the new hot thing, all of their friends is playing it, and they're gonna buy it. They don't care that the shops is locked behind, the $100 edition. We don't like it. I don't like it. I think it's scummy. It's a very terrible practice, but it's number one. So I mean, like at the end of the day, it just all comes down to the casual gamers. I think that us hardcore gamers, or I consider myself a hardcore gamer, but I think that hardcore gamers are now the niche, in the community now, because you just look at the industry as a whole, and Call of Duty, Fortnite, Madden, Grand Theft Auto. That's it.
FIFA.
So
Yeah, I get
FIFA.
it.
So companies are going to continue to be able to get away with the things that are allowed, because let's just say that FIFA makes $50 billion in microtransactions a year, right? If every hardcore gamer decided to boycott FIFA,
Mhm.
what would that lose them? Like $1 billion? Like it's just not enough to really impact anything in the grand scheme of things. So I mean,
My
it
issue with the
sucks.
boycotting though is like, what do people, are they feeding people what they actually want? Because it seems like they are. Supply and demand. People
Oh.
are buying it, so they clearly want it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, what's the purpose of boycotting if people are getting what they want?
So-
You know what I mean?
I wanted to look this up because I wanted to give the examples. So FIFA last year made $15 billion. 15 with a B, it was like right there.
Crazy.
Madden made about 36 billion with a B. NBA almost made 40 billion. And this is just off of last year's statistics. That's how I'm like, and then if you go into Call of Duty, Call of Duty made about 25 to 27. But the number one making of money is Fortnite, which is almost touching 100 billion.
Mhm.
And you know what
Right.
the shitty part
Now-
is? Do you know what all the microtransactions there? Everything they sell you is fucking cosmetic. You are literally paying
Yeah,
just
but
to
the
look
game's
different.
free.
Yep.
Yeah, the game is free. You are literally paying for the ability to look like whatever the hell
Well-
you want to look like.
Well,
Now
the
that's the hook.
thing is
for a lot of these-
I'm sorry, Connor, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's the hook. This is the one thing that Fortnite's doing right that the others just aren't, because they're charging 40, 50, 60 bucks, $100 for a game, and then throwing in the microtransactions for cosmetics. Fortnite gave you the game for free,
Yep.
and then gave you the cosmetics limited.
Yep.
That's what's
Fortnite's
pulling
the
people
only
in.
one really doing that with the licensing of everything.
Fortnite
too,
didn't
because they're
start out
getting
that way,
all
though.
of these popular brands and other things, and they're using that
Mhm.
popularity, because then it'll bring people. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite thing. I've got to go.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, Lara Croft. Like, I'm gonna go in there. You know what I mean? It's so
But-
smart.
Mhm.
It's absolutely genius.
And,
and
but
nobody's
he's
doing it.
right. Fortnite wasn't free originally, but they figured out how the market works, and they
Well, they had
adjusted their plan.
They made the free version be the battle royale. That has always been free, but the Save the World from the side, you had to buy that. Now
Yeah.
it's part of the original game, but
Well-
they've always had it where most of the transactions you can do are simply cosmetic. They don't help your gameplay in any way, shape, or form.
Well, here's the thing.
Now,
because
if you want to run around as John Wick, or where I run around as an undead raccoon, or driving around in a Dodge Ram pickup or a old Shelby GT 500, it's a cosmetic thing. That's literally what you're paying for, is the ability to look however you want to look. Everything, it does not help your gameplay at all. If you suck in the game, you're still going to suck in the game, period.
Well,
Yep, yours look like John Wick while you're doing it.
well, I
Yep.
know the reason why 2K. I know 2K specifically. You have to buy virtual currency just to improve your player in the fast pace, because earning it takes 3 times as long just to get a little bit. So I know they spend like $50, $100, $150, $200 sometimes in like one sitting just to make a character the way they want.
Mhm.
But
And they lock a lot of these things behind a season, what they call a season pass now too.
yeah, but
It's just another path for profit. I mean, obviously that's what these companies are here for. They're here to make a profit. It's some of their methods in which their what's the word I'm looking for? Their business model for doing it, I don't necessarily agree with.
Like, this is just me as an old gamer. I miss some of the golden ages of gaming. Like, I miss NBA Street, NFL Street. I miss like games that they were just there to be goofy and fun. Like Def Jam Vendetta. I know no one probably has ever played that shit in here anymore, but I played it just for fun, just to like beat someone behind to music.
No, I still play it on my PC. I got a Fight for New York and Vendetta on my PC.
My man.
Oh, go with Tecmo Bowl.
And I
Oh
feel
my God,
like
Tecmo Bowl was so fun.
games have lost that.
Right?
For me,
That's
a
the
lot
game
of
where
games have lost charm.
if you
Like they don't have that spark anymore.
I mean, you want to go
Bowl is the
old
only
school
game where
for like
you
our
could
generation, Mutant League. You remember the Mutant League games?
Yes. Like
Those were amazing. We never actually finished the game in time. You know, for in the full game time, we wound up killing the other side so badly they had to forfeit. He kept destroying their players. And
Like-
that was great gameplay.
I remember the days of when Assassin's Creed first dropped and that trailer and then the gameplay showing that you had to think about what you were doing or you were going to get messed up in 5 seconds. Or Splinter Cell, how you had to be the most quiet person or you were going to get caught. It was like they were making games that were just unique to what they were supposed to do. Like they played on their strengths. Like we had Spyro, we had Crash Bandicoot, we had Sonic, we had Mario. All these games played to what they were supposed to be.
Now, if you want to go with an unhinged game that was absolutely funner and shit to play, go back to the SNES days and go with Booger Man, a pick and flick adventure.
I remember that game. That and Earthworm Jim.
I can't go back.
Oh hell no!
I can't go back
Go
to
with
NES. Can't.
Go with the fucking to this day one of the most iconic games of any hardcore older gamer is going to be Oddworld: Abe's Exodus. And still to this day, with all the different games that have come out, I mean, we'd have millions of games come out, and still in the top 10 RPGs is Star Ocean to the End of Time.
Even though
I like Lunar better, but I know where you're going with that.
Nah, it's always going to be second story. But all right, let's get to this main topic. This main thing. Sony basically killed physical games. They basically said, "Yeah, we're not doing this anymore. If you win a game, you're going to get a code." Now, these are also the same people that years ago made fun of Xbox for trying to do this. It says, "Nah, we keep games because we believe in gamers." And they also tried to take a shot at Nintendo for saying, "Hey, you're doing the same thing we're doing," but I'm like, they're at least giving us a cartridge. You're just saying, "Here's a box. Here's a code. Have fun." Like, I don't think any kid wants to go to GameStop for a box and be like, "Oh, mommy, pretty art."
I don't think anybody even goes to GameStop anymore, but that's a different thing. I know what you're saying.
How do you guys feel about that, and how you feel like it's going to impact everything?
I'm on the fence. So the thing is, when I got my PlayStation 5, I intentionally got it with the intent of getting physical games. I like my discs; they load better. I don't have to worry about network connections or anything like that. I've always been a fan of it, but I also can't remember the last time I bought a DVD and watched a movie to watch a movie. So I don't like their method. Like once we take it off our library, you lose your game kind of thing, especially if you wipe your hard drive. Like, I don't agree with that. You're going to have to find some bigger server to hold your entire library in there, because if I want to go back and play WWE Raw versus SmackDown from 2018, I'm going to get it. I paid for it. It's mine.
Spidey?
Well, I only buy my media physical. Even my movies, I buy it. If a new Blu-ray comes out, I'll get it. Like, I have the whole Spider-Verse collection. I just buy everything physically, games, movies, whatever.
Okay.
And I am in GameStop every week, by the way, Connor.
Thank you. Thank you.
You
Love
know,
it.
I was there Friday, and I'll be there again Tuesday for Halo, and then I'll be there the following week. I'm there literally every week for every new release. But I think that it sucks because you're beholden to not having anything of value. Most people, well, 85% of people buy digital, right? So we are the minority at this point. And I don't think there's anything wrong with acknowledging that fact. I don't think we need to pretend like we're the majority or even pretend like, you know, because they're projected to save over $40 to $50 million in 2028 with not having to print physical discs. So it sucks. I like being able to have my games because games grow in value. You know, value fluctuates. You know, I still have my Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, you know, which is a game that is the license expired, but I can always play it, or I can get on eBay and I can sell it for $100, or I could pass it down to my son. I can do what I want to do with the game. But when you buy a game digitally, you basically just threw your money away because it's just stuck. It's not going to grow in value. You really don't own it. You can't do anything with it. It's just, you know, you throw your money away. So from that aspect, and also you're beholden to the prices that they set. I can remember that even something like Ghost of Yote, I went to GameStop and I got Ghost of Yote on release day for $23. Because I go to GameStop, so I have points. You know, when the Switch 2 came out, I got Donkey Kong and a Switch 2 Pro controller for $80 combined. You know, that would be like $160 or $170 if you just brought it, you know, off the Nintendo site or something like that. But I'm gonna go to GameStop where I can get my value for it. So that kind of sucks, but I also understand that we are in the minority and times do change. So I feel like people that say that they're gonna just boycott until 2028 and not spend no money, I feel like you basically just waving a white flag at that point, because if a company sees that, oh shit, they really not buying physical, all right, well fuck it, we ain't got to make them no more.
That's what
I
I've been
feel
saying
like
the
if
whole
you really
time,
wanted to
right?
support physical, you would go to the store next week, you would get Halo. You would go to the store the following week, you would get Marvel Token. You would go buy Star Wars Zero Company. You would go buy Wolverine. You would buy Beast of Reincarnation. You would get every new game that's coming out. You would get it physically instead of saying, you know what, they taking away physical in 2 years, so we're just gonna show them that we don't give a fuck about it and not spend any more money. I think it's counterproductive. It's counterproductive and it does suck. But hey, what can we do besides keep buying it?
To a point, I can see where the physical copy would be an issue, because there's a lot of people who don't have a lot of space, and maintaining all these games becomes tedious when you have a lot of that. So I could see that side of it. The part I don't understand is if I'm going to go and buy this brand new game and get a physical copy, and I'm paying $100 for this, why the fuck is the digital still $100?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things like we can talk about on this, right? Like, I'm with you, Spider, and I don't understand why people would think that not buying the games is going to help. And for me, I think for them, every time I've asked that, they say, well, because we have to send a message. So you'd rather send a message that you're angry at Sony rather than actually buy physical games so that they know you want them. I can't get over it.
That's literally
I don't think they know what the actual message is. They're like, we're going to send a message. I don't think they know what that message is. I mean, I said this on your Twitter post. You know, boycotts are wholly unserious in this day and age. They'll go for a couple of days and be like, "Ha, that'll show them," and PlayStation's going to be like, "Okay, it's Tuesday. What are we doing next?"
I had this argument with someone at my job because they were like, "We just need to boycott all video games, this, that, and the fourth." And I went, first of all, boycotting doesn't really do shit because y'all don't know how to stick to shit. Let's just like keep it a buck. I agree with you 100% on your post, Matt, that all you gotta do is just go in the store. You know how you just go into GameStop, walk in there and be like, you know what? I would like this game, and this game.
And because they can attribute loss in sales to anything, right? They can sell that in any way, but you can't ignore if physical sales go up. That's a direct line to say, hey, they actually want physical games, you know? And what's funny too is I think a lot of people forget that the market has always been digital and physical. You know, like as somebody who grew up gaming as a kid, I don't know how many of you guys probably all played browser games. I mean, we all played
Yeah.
crazy. Like there was this burger browser game I played all the time. And then I think about the only games I don't still have like in this retro area are my PC discs. We could not find them anywhere. And so we think maybe they got tossed out or something at some point with something. I don't know, but they're just gone. And so then when you think about it, and it's like, okay, well, physical media can be lost as well. And had they been digital, let's say that I grew up now and everything was digital, you know, even if I were to get the physical game today, I would have to have a specific Windows system on some specific thing to even be able to play it. You know, you have to go through a lot of levels to even be able to play an old PC game. And so people growing up now, they might have digital games where if they don't take away access, and again, that's giving them control, but like if they don't, then you might still have that 30 years down the road that in a way where we didn't. And so there is some good to it too. And I think a lot of people forget there's pros and cons to all of it, and having you know, the options is perfect, but you can lose access to your physical just as easily.
Before
Go
we
ahead.
jump off of that, I'm gonna expand on one thing she said, because when you go to the computer side of this, yes, a lot of these games really fucking old. So if you try and play like the original Oregon Trail or any of those, it doesn't have the same format because we don't have the 5 1/4 floppies. So not only that, but if you try and load, God, load a black and white as an example into a computer nowadays, it's not going to say that it can't read it. It's going to be read as a corrupted file because it's not formatted into what it is now. Now, to the point, if we take a quote unquote family account, and if I buy a game, it belongs to that family account, and I can have up to 10 people on that family account. When I inevitably croak, if somebody else takes over that account, all of those games carry forward is what should be done. However, if I buy the game, I have the game, period. That's it.
Well, that I understand. But I can say I am guilty, and I'm going to admit my guilt. I have bought some digital games, but I've also went back and bought those same games physically because I'm like, I'm going to support the studio that I like. But there are some games that they only release digitally, which is a problem. Like there are some that you just can't get a physical
and that's
copy
the way they're going to go.
Small indie games, which is also cool for them because they can do what, you know, they wouldn't have been able to make a game without that.
I'll give you an example. When Telltale Games came out with the Walking Dead series, that game was not available in the physical format. I had to keep buying it episodically. Then they
Same thing for me in Monkey Island. That's not available in anything but digital.
Yeah, then I came back and bought it after it was like, hey, it's on physical copy now. I'm like, cool. I feel like if you buy a digital game, but you want to support the studio, you have to buy the physical counterpart to show that you're actually supporting the game no matter what. Like,
well, I mean, buying the game is supporting the company, whether it's digital or physical. All physical's doing for you at this point is giving you your own copy forever. So when they decide to pull it off their library, you still have a copy.
Nah, I have a copy
of
Anthem.
That's only if it doesn't have the internet necessity, right?
I have a copy of Anthem. That shit is basically a paperweight at this point. Because you can't even run it.
It's like a bunch of my Assassin's Creeds would be the same way, right? You know, they have all that needed internet access, that kind of thing. So well,
even mine, like I've still got games that belong to the PlayStation 2. I don't have a PlayStation 2 anymore, but I still have the physical game.
Yep.
I think that would only work. I think yours would work, Matt, with the original trilogy. So 1, Ezio's trilogy, 3.
Oh, they're fine now. But if they decided, you know, I think there's a few. I've heard that Ezio, I think maybe the remasters might be the same way, and that's really what you can buy these days. But regardless, you know, it's difficult to know which games for sure they have control of like removing unless you were to run tests on them. And so you're looking at physical media is really, especially when it comes to games, quite different than a lot of industries where with vinyl it's actually better sound, with, you know, movies you're getting potentially the better quality than, and so with this it's the same exact thing. It's just a copy of the game, and that's only really your copy of the game if it doesn't require internet access, because they could still kill the game for you. Now, will they is, the question, and I don't think they're going to kill a lot of games that aren't live service, but it is possible that they could say, oh, we don't want to have all these games in our reserve. They might just not, oh, that game's not popular enough, kill it. That is possible. It could happen.
Spider, you had something you wanted to say?
I don't think so.
Okay, I was asking just to make sure.
So what Connor said a second ago, because he brought up the PlayStation 2, and some of the games that were back there, if they're going to start remastering games, PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 games being remastered is fucking awesome. They went back and they remastered the Final Fantasy 8. They did a remake of Final Fantasy 7. They just took the PC game, or the strictly PC game of Diablo 2, and made it console friendly. I would love to see them go back and take the original Diablo and make that current.
I don't think you'd want that, because they would do that, charge you an arm and a leg, and they may not even really do it well. They may just do what Call of Duty did and just be like, here's a port over. Have fun.
I think it'd still be worth it. Remaster it and put it back out there. I think it'd be worth it.
So to his point though, it's knowing your audience.
True.
Okay, that's something that he would be interested in. That's something that he would pay money for.
True. I literally do very, very bad things for someone to give me a Legend of Dragoon remake. I would do a lot of things.
Oh fuck yes.
I would about to make a comment saying certain jobs would be done if I could to get that done, but I don't think I'm supposed to say that in this Christian Minecraft server.
Or Chrono Cross.
Okay, I'm down with that one, but no, I'm good with it. I'm like, but so this is one of the last segments for this. So PlayStation has come out and said that we're getting a PlayStation 6, but they will not be eating the cost of the PlayStation 6. So there have been estimates that it's going to cost starting at like $1,200. Now, I'm a single guy. I can go ahead and buy what I want and no repercussions to me. I'm going to turn this to two adults who have kids to raise. Your kid says, hey, Dad, I want the PlayStation 6. You go and see that is $1299.99. That's before tax. This is just before tax. What are you saying to your kid?
So first and foremost, Connor, please, if I'm wrong here, because I think he's referring to me and you.
Yes, I'm
first and foremost, what the fuck makes you think I'm an adult?
I mean,
he's got a point, dude. He's got a point.
I mean, you're
playing video games at my age.
Let's see your fucking driver's license. The fact that you made kids, I feel like that makes you a sort of an adult. But I could be wrong.
You've been in conversations with me. You've seen my gameplay. I am as far from an adult as somebody can possibly be while still being able to legally buy alcohol.
All right, Sam Smith. Look, would you buy this for your children if they asked? And
no.
I'm referring to both you and Connor.
No, I would not. And this is coming from a guy who's owned every PlayStation since it originally came out. At $1,300 right now, I don't have enough organs to donate to pay for that.
The way I see it is very simple. I have a 16-year-old. At some point, he's going to want a car. $1,300, he can buy himself a fucking car. Then he can get himself to wherever the hell he wants to go. And then, so if he wants to spend that on a console, he's going to get a job and he's going to fucking do it himself. Meanwhile, he's going to have that car to get himself to that job.
Mad Spider.
I think if I weren't a creator, I probably wouldn't get it until it was on a steep discount, honestly. Like, I would wait because I was always getting stuff late before 2020 when I started being on gaming internet. I would buy stuff really late. I was one of those gamers. I'd buy stuff pretty much always a year after it launched. So I think I would do that now with those types of things. I think, but as a creator, I was just thinking literally yesterday, man, I wish I had the Pro because I want my screenshots from like all of my photo mode stuff from Last of Us 2 to look just a little bit better. And so that's like where my brain is. And then, if I'm making like an ambience video, I want it just like that slightly higher quality,
I understand that. But here's the thing. We get to use those things as tax write-offs, which helps us.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
But
Spider,
yeah, if I were just a casual gamer still, I don't think I would get it for a while. I think that price is
Too
it
high.
makes sense to some degree because we haven't had tons of jumps in gaming in a while. You know, some stuff has been the same price for 20 years. But I do think that they've now, instead of done stepping stones for the last 20 years, they're just leaping all the way. And I don't know that that's going to work very well, to be honest, because a lot of casual gamers are going to be like, nah, I'm good.
Spider.
You know?
Go ahead, Connor. You had something you wanted to say before you jump to me?
Oh no, I was just going to add on. It's just like, you know, and PlayStation has done this every single console.
Generation.
Every time they've come out with a console, they'll go for a year, making games for both, and then they'll hit a cutoff date and say we're at this from this point. And a lot of the game studios, independent game studios, will do this in advance of that. Will be like, we're no longer supporting PlayStation 4. We're making games exclusively for the PlayStation 5 now. And so now you got a choice. You know, the new Zero Dawn Horizon comes out, but it's only for the place. It's a PlayStation 6 exclusive, but you love that game. Now what are you gonna do?
I can understand that. Sorry, Spider. Go ahead.
No, y'all good. Y'all good. So for me, my kids only play Roblox. So under no circumstance would they ever get a PS6. But for me personally, even if I was not a creator, I would get a PS6 day one. And for me, ultimately, it just comes down to the software, right? Because $1,300, yeah, is expensive, and optimally, I would not want to pay $1,300 for a system. I'm sure nobody would want to pay $1,300 for a system.
I mean, if that $1,300 system is gonna do my work for me and cook dinner, I'll fucking gladly pay it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that makes sense to me, but you know, I'm not gonna miss some of my favorite games just because it's $1,300. Like, nobody can convince me or put it in my head that I shouldn't play Spider-Man 3 day one because the system is too expensive and that's killing the industry. And you know, most casual gamers won't be able to afford it. I don't give a fuck about casual gamers. I only care about my enjoyment of video games. I want to play Spider-Man 3. I love this series, one of my favorite series of all time. I want to play X-Men. Why should I skip X-Men because the console is $1,300? That doesn't make sense to me.
And that's
So for me,
right? Like, you should be allowed to buy it without feeling guilted.
so I'm fine buying it day one to enjoy the games that I want to enjoy. If everybody else wants to wait until year 3, which it's not going to make a difference, the components are still going to be expensive. So it's not like it's going to jump down 3 years in, and that's just realistically that's not going to happen at this point. But
So-
if
You know what
everybody
the
else wants to wait for
You know what the
the
only real difference between year 1 and year 3 is? And it has nothing to do with the components, it has nothing to do with the games that are coming out. There's only one
Okay.
major difference between year 1 and year 3.
Mhm.
When you initially get that, if you're a day one on whatever console, whatever platform, you're a day one purchaser and player. All the kinks that immediately start showing up in that first 6 months, all those patches, everything they got to do to fix it. If you wait that first year, you don't have that same fucking problem.
But here's the thing about that.
Assassin's Creed Unity had bugs because I played it like a year late.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Unity was fucked up when it came out. But listen, here's the thing about that. I've had PlayStation 1 through 5 on launch. I've never had a bug. I've never had a system breakdown. I've never had a kink that needed to work out. My systems have all ran perfect for me. The only time I've ever had an issue with a system was the Xbox 360. That was the only time. Other than that, my Dreamcast, my GameCube, my Wii, my Wii U, my Switch 1, my Switch 2, my PS5 Pro, my Xbox Series X, my S. I've never had an issue with any of those things where I needed kinks to work out or I needed a revision for the system. All my systems work and still today work flawlessly. So for me, that's just not a thing to me.
Statistically speaking, it's maybe what 35% of the base actually gets issues.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, you're sitting there playing this game. You personally aren't having issues. However, when you turn it on, you have a lot of system updates in that first 6 months to a year with any new console because they're taking all of the errors, all the things that are wrong, and trying to fix it.
I mean, I can raise my hand and say, as someone who bought Cyberpunk 2077 day one and experienced falling through the world 12 times before I actually died, I can understand this. And I can
Hey,
also,
that's on you for buying a CD Projekt Red game day one. I
hey,
ain't
hey,
listen,
hey,
that's on you, buddy.
Hold on. No.
Listen,
We ain't gonna just disrespect that. Okay?
listen. I'm gonna tell you like this. I ain't never brought an Insomniac game day one and had a bug, a glitch, a fall through world, nothing.
I mean,
I can't speak for the demographic. I can only speak for myself.
To be
Sorry.
This PlayStation 5 got patched 3 times the day I bought it.
Mhm.
Hold on, and to be fair, Insomniac only basically makes one type of game, so I don't want to hear that. Like they make the
and CD
same
Projekt
shit.
Red, they
And
only
see,
make
I'm not
open
even
world
going into the
RPGs?
games. I'm not even going into the games. I'm going into the console itself.
Yeah, that's what all I'm talking
So-
about is the
But
console.
you have to go into the games because they can patch the system. They can patch the system 20
Hold on, give
times.
him a second.
They can patch the system 20 times the first year it comes out. That's not going to affect my X-Men play.
Some people more than others because
That's not going to affect my X-Men playthrough though. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to affect my
like
playthrough.
Connor, you said that yours
Well,
patched 3 days
hold
the
on,
first
hold
day, or 3 times the first day. I don't know if mine did. It might have, and I probably didn't notice or care. You know what I mean? Like they're just we all have different thresholds for caring about this stuff. I don't really care if there's a few bugs. I don't, especially if they're funny. I don't care if things need to get patched or take. Like a lot of people just don't really think about it too much or care. You know?
Okay.
Well, my whole thing in this argument was not so much, okay, like I said, maybe 35% of the player base has issues with whatever game.
Mm-hmm.
My whole thing was all the bugs that need to be worked out with the new console are done within that first 6 months to a year. There's a shit ton of updates, a shit ton of hot fixes for the components or whatever it is that's going on for that console to make it work effectively within that first 6 months to a year. So if you wait that time frame, you'll have one fix and no issues.
So my mod wanted the hold on one sec. I understand. I'm not trying to cut you off, sir, but my mod had a comment to what Spidey was saying. Anyone who ever bought a Bethesda game.
Oh, fuck Bethesda.
He was like, anyone who ever bought a Bethesda game, that literally
And that's why I don't buy Bethesda games.
I was like,
no. If Fallout 6 comes out, Fallout 5 comes out, I'm buying it. Don't even. Like,
okay, so
go ahead.
And Black Ops mentioning a Bethesda game, whenever I went to Maryland to go do a bunch of training, I actually called him as I'm driving through Bethesda so he and I can both scream, fuck Bethesda.
Yeah. But here's my thing, though. If the PS6 came out and they gave me a controller that didn't get stick drift, I would buy it. Just because I would like a controller that doesn't keep having that problem. I have bought more PlayStation controllers than any other thing because they keep having the same exact issue happen. 6 months to a year later, the shit gets stick drift, and I'm just like, that's $80.
But we drifted the scope of the conversation. The question was the console, not the games.
True.
And that was my whole entire statement in this. Don't get me wrong, I fully support those who want to be day one purchasers. Knock yourself out. I wait that 6 months to a year because I know there's so many hot fixes, so many things that need to be done, so many updates, so many things that need to be done. And personally, for me, that slows down my game time because I have to wait for these things to fucking do. So I'd wait for that first 6 months to a year. So this way, whenever I plug it in and I go through all that, I do it one time. And then whenever I start playing, I ain't got to worry about that shit.
That makes sense because for you, it's the time you're getting to spend gaming, not exactly like you don't need to be on the trends. You don't need to be on the first one on anything. You're just, I want a game and I have this amount of time and I don't want anything interrupting it. I would assume.
Yes.
My mod has commented, it's better than buying crack. That was her comment.
Deeper.
You say that.
I would rather not test that theory.
Oh my god.
That's not something I want to test. Ma'am, I am looking, and I'm not getting into that conversation about buying crack. That's not something I do. But all right, because this is my last. This is my last thing. This is the last segment. With all these changes to the console gaming market, and people are deciding to shift more toward PC now. What do you feel like Steam will start taking these actions from PlayStation and maybe implementing them into their own thing?
They already have.
They already are.
Are you not familiar with the Steam Deck?
I was never going to buy one of those. I laughed at it and kept moving.
believe it or not, if you go look at it right now, Steam Deck is actually one of the most profitable, most widely used, and most versatile consoles that there is.
Here's the thing, though: 8-hour battery life, and I was like, I do more gaming than that in 5 minutes, but and
Yeah, but that part I can't get around, but still.
with all this stuff happening, also, is it going to shift the retro market even higher?
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah, but PCs have always been a thing. Going back to the the 5.5 floppy days to current day, like PC gaming has always been a thing of some sort. It's had its rise, it's had its fall. PlayStation had its rise, had its fall. Xbox had its rise, had its fall. Nintendo had its rise, has its fall. Sega had its rise, had its collapse, and now it's just absorbed by everybody else. I mean, all consoles, all everything, every platform has had its rise and fall. PC is the only one who has been who has been consistent throughout all of it. Inevitably, I see that the consoles are probably going to go away because if you look at Xbox as an example, they're going more towards a fully digital display. They're going away from the console idea to more of a physical platform like you see on any other Windows system. Because if you look at the Xbox console now, it looks like if you turn on a Windows 11 system. And inevitably, we're going to get to the point where PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, it's not going to be a physical console. It's going to be a type of PC, which it technically is already.
Okay.
They're just going to be specific. If you're looking for an Xbox, this Xbox is going to have 64 gigabits of RAM. It's going to have a 2 terabyte hard drive. It's going to have a 17-inch monitor.
Mad.
I think I have a ton of opinion on it at this point. I mean, I think retro is going to go up for sure, but I think, that's pretty much all for me. I mean, I think retro is going to go up 100%, but I think people are just going to keep gaming. I think it's just all goes back to supply and demand. I don't know that we can really predict it all, and I think that everything is getting way too expensive. But I think part of it is that we were due for things to go up a long time ago. And had they done it with stepping stones, we wouldn't be jumping up so high. Like they're realizing the problem and they're way over jumping. And I think we all have more games than we've ever had before at any given time when we've grown up in this. So we don't have to buy new games. I actually have slowed down on my buying of new games for many years until really this year I've spent more just with everything going on. I've been buying more physical because I was part of the problem. I was definitely buying a lot of digital. So when this happened, I was like, I woke up and I was like, hey, I am part of this problem. I am the reason, because the convenience of it, the not having to have a ton of space to store everything, that was nice. And so, I think as they start to show us these signals, we need to pay attention a little bit more and say, instead of freaking out and doing boycotts and like anti-Sony or anti-this or what, just, hey, maybe if I want physical games, I should buy them, and do more of that now. So if we start seeing, hey, I think that PlayStation is going to get really expensive, think through what that means for you. Do you want to buy more retro stuff now because maybe it'll go up in the future? Or do you want to make sure you're taking care of your consoles so that they last longer? Whatever that is for you. Or do you want to invest in a PC instead? Whatever that is for you, thinking through that rather than just freaking out, because supply and demand is what it is. And unfortunately for those who are very upset because they were like the oldest, OG gamers, and now everything's more or less catered fully to casuals, that's the people I know that are probably the most upset right now, because they're the people who are like, this industry was for me and now they're making it for you, and I don't like that. And so I think there's something to be said for people that have entrepreneurship in them and love gaming, that could get out there and make really cool niche things for the tried and true OG gamers. Somebody can make a console. There's a lot of barriers to entry, but somebody could figure that business out for the people that really like that kind of stuff. And so I don't think it's all doom and gloom, because a lot of the really heavy gamers don't need all of the best, biggest, newest AAA games anyway. So I think there's still a lot of opportunity in the space. I don't think doom and gloom is all that necessary, if that makes sense.
Spidey?
I think retro will go up in the present, like within the next 2 years. Obviously, with digital going away, not digital, with physical going away. But I think that it's kind of, like Mad said, it's kind of like the doom and gloom. It just doesn't really. I mean, it's just like the older games, the OG gamers is like, again, that's a niche audience. Like most of the people that are saying we're not buying a PS6 and fuck Sony and this, that, and the third, like y'all aren't the people that brought 17 million copies of Spider-Man 2. Y'all aren't the people that brought 3 million copies of Yakuza Infinite Wealth. Y'all aren't the people that brought, Expedition 33, 5 million copies. Y'all did these OG gamers are the people that they're still playing the Bethesda games. They're still playing CD Projekt Red. They're playing Doom. You know what I'm saying? They're playing stuff like that. They're playing older games on their PC. They aren't the people that are going out buying the PS5 Pro and that have the PS5 at 100 million copies. So I think that the youth and the casual gamer will always see benefit in having, a PlayStation to play Fortnite and to play NBA 2K when it comes out, to play FIFA, with their friends, because they have that established library and that ecosystem. And they're not gonna sit. When next gen comes, they're not gonna say, you know what, I've been playing NBA 2K with my friends for 10 years now, right? PS6 is $1,200, so I'm gonna just go build a $1,700 PC. That doesn't make logical sense. Gamers are not switching over to PC next gen. That's a small minority of people who are upset, and I'm upset right with you. I'm upset right with you. I understand, but it's a small minority subset. Xbox is most likely going away 100%. Yes, no argument with that. They've been trying to get out the game of having a console. They don't want to do it no more because they got Game Pass and other things. But PlayStation and Nintendo as a console going away, no, it's not. It's just not going to happen. PlayStation 5, what people like to say is, oh, it's the worst gen. Okay, 100 million. Take that for your worst gen. Nintendo Switch, 117 million. The new Switch is selling faster than the first Switch. So no, consoles are not going away. PlayStation is not going away. Nintendo is not going away, at least for the next decade. Like, it's just not happening. They're selling too much. This has been the most profitable generation of PlayStation. A lot of people forget that because they live in an echo chamber. But I'm going to say this again. This has been the most profitable generation for PlayStation. The most money they've ever made. Ever. No, they're not. They're not going nowhere.
Any games in comparison, when you actually look at that, it's actually crazy.
It's right. It's not going nowhere.
So when you mention OG gamers that get into all this, the ones that are dedicated who've been playing for years. But whenever you mention that, I'm reminded of the Noble 14, as it's referred to, if anybody's familiar with that.
You have to explain it, big dog. None of us probably know that.
Okay. So back in the day, whenever the Halo 2 servers went down, 14 dedicated players kept playing the game after the servers were shut down. And we're talking, they ended up playing the game for, God, I don't know how long. The servers shut down April 15, 2010, and they kept playing until May 11th.
Okay.
The server shut down, but as long as you did not go back to the main menu, that you were able to stay in game. 14 players kept playing the game.
Wow. That's cool.
That's the kind of dedication you need to find in a game. Those are the kind of people
the kind of dedication you need in general to make things happen. People could have said, oh, we're just going to boycott because they're taking it down. No, seeing people that dedicated, that is cool.
Well,
yeah.
Someone is trying to start something with PlayStation where nobody logs in, no one does this, that, and the third. And I just looked at that and said, that's not going to happen, but that's a nice dream. I don't see any teenage kid not coming home, turning their PlayStation on, like Spidey would say, and playing Madden or playing FIFA with their friends or playing COD or playing Fortnite. They're just going to turn it on and keep moving. But that is nice dedication. I do respect that. But also, Spidey, you didn't have to call me out on all the games I bought that year. I respect you, but I appreciate that, sir. You called me out hard. But I'm gonna say something, and because this made me think of this, and I know
the judge.
And Jeff Bezos made a joke, and I didn't take it as a joke, saying that eventually it was going to get to the point where we own nothing and rent everything. And I feel like this is what will be happening in the next 5, maybe 10 years if we're lucky. We will own none of the consoles we like. We will just be renting everything. Renting the games, renting the controller. Hell, we might be renting the power cords for all we know.
Technically, people are doing that now with fucking cars.
Yeah. And there also people are using Klein to rent things, but I'm just saying it's coming to that point. But
no, I mean, logically and realistically here, people are doing that now. A lot of the cars that have come out in the last 5 years, as an example, a lot of the onboard navigation shit that comes with them, and a lot of the things that are in those cars, you end up signing somewhere in all that fucking paperwork that says, if you aren't using this car effectively, or you're using whatever's in the car in effect against the way they want you to, they will brick the car. All they're doing is they're taking this and they're advertising it out. So there's this big tiff about people when it comes to the Switch 2, because if you go against the EULA, they're going to break the system. That's been a thing for PlayStation and Xbox since what, 95?
96. But all right, so this would be.
And do you have any idea what it would actually take to violate the end user license agreement for any of these consoles?
I mean, as a content creator for Nintendo, it's basically sneezing the wrong way.
No, in order to do that, you actually have to get into the core of the operating system itself and modify the operating system within the console itself. That violates the end user license agreement. Tweaking a video game voids the EULA on a game, not the console. In order to have the console bricked, you have to violate the EULA of the console.
Well, I will say that we have reached the point of the podcast where I would say we are done. I have one more round of fucking play, burn, keep if you would like to play that before we leave, or we can just all, because I know people gotta get up for work tomorrow. I know I do. I got big dinner. You know, I got all this
I'm
stuff.
on vacation for the next couple of weeks.
All right.
Ooh, nice.
So
bring it on.
I call this one Nostalgic Childhood Pillars. Keep, burn, kill. Super Mario 64, Halo Combat Evolved, or Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, who wants to go?
Keep his Final Fantasy VII. I can burn the other two.
Yeah, you gotta play one.
The exact opposite.
See, I would burn 7 because 7 for me was just way too screwed up.
I didn't top Final Fantasy 3 for me. Like Final Fantasy 3 was the Final Fantasy game, but I mean, I did enjoy.
For me, it was 8. For me, it was 8. Like I loved 8.
For me, it's 9.
The remake for 7 was okay, but the original gameplay, the original way they did everything in 7 was just shit for me. I was not a fucking fan. And aside from, I would play the Mario 64 because it was fun. What was the other one?
Halo Combat Evolved.
Okay, back in its day, not so much anymore because the new ones just took everything way the fuck to shit. But the original was awesome in its day. So again, I'm going to go with play. I'm not going to keep any of them.
Okay, so you're just playing. What are you playing?
I would play both Mario 64 and Halo Combat Evolved, and I'd burn Final Fantasy VII.
All right, Mad.
I would play Combat Evolved. I would keep Mario 64. I actually played my OG in 64 version of Mario recently. It was like last year. So yeah, I would definitely keep that one because I literally have.
So for y'all that be doubting if Mad's a gamer, she just proved that by saying, "Yeah, I actually have an OG copy." Fuck all of you.
Yeah.
Spidey.
Man, listen, I don't even like Mario 64, but I will play Mario 64. Keep Halo. Listen, Halo is the GOAT FPS to me. Period. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to always keep Halo. and then burn Final Fantasy VII. Look, I like to play the games. I love playing the games. I like to play games. If I'm just selecting text and watching animations, I don't want to be bothered with it. I want to play the don't give me a big ass sword and then tell me choose a word and watch it happen. No, let me use the fucking sword. Let me parry. Let me roll. Let me whip ass with the sword. Don't tell me that I'm just watching shit happen. I want to play the game, not look at it. So burn that shit.
Do you hate E33? By the way, I feel like you wouldn't like it.
No, you know what? I don't mind turn-based games. I just think that I like my turn-based games to have some level of interactivity.
Well,
the level of interactivity in Final Fantasy VII is non-existent. But something like Yakuza Infinite Wealth, even though it's a turn-based game, you still gotta block. You still gotta time your parry. You still gotta time your attack with the animation to get bonus damage. You still can walk around the circle to position yourself to get. So I like to be immersed in the game. So E33 gameplay to me, it was basically the same thing as Yakuza Infinite Wealth. So no, I didn't mind E33.
So you'd be more of a Star Ocean fan than a Final Fantasy VII fan.
I for sure like Star Ocean more than Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right. Connor, would you like to go before I go? Because I'm going to get cussed out so bad when I go.
I think we're all prepared to judge you at this point.
Huh? What you got, Connor?
You talking about the list?
Yeah.
I went first.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm about to get cussed out because I'm going
Like
to.
I said, I think we're all prepared to judge you at this point.
I'm going to play Final Fantasy one last time. I'm keeping Halo, period. And I'm burning Super Mario 64 because fucking Galaxies was way better than So was Sunshine. I will take the drama. Yes. Wow. Yes, I said it.
Galaxy better than what?
I said Galaxy is better than 64.
Still.
Galaxy and Sunshine. No. Galaxy and
Paper
Super
Mario
Mario
over
Sunshine
any other
are both better than Super Mario 64.
Let me hear. Hold on. Let me hear real quick, Psycho. I know you said that 64 is better. No, you said Galaxy's better than 64. What else did you say was better than?
I said Paper Mario's better than the rest of them.
No, I'm talking about Black Up. You said it. I
said Super Mario Galaxy is better than Super Mario 64, and Super Mario Sunshine is better than.
All right, hey, that's the Unpatched podcast, y'all. I'm Spite. I hope y'all had a good night, man. Everybody good.
Hey,
we gonna see y'all next time, man. We love y'all.
I told y'all he was gonna get mad. Like I wasn't lying when I said it. Like I'm gonna catch some slack. Because I had other questions. It's just I just decided to end it with that one. I could have done worse. I could have said.
Anybody else intrigued to see what's worse than that?
I kind of am, yeah.
You got to man up now, there, Black Up.
All right, icons for a console. Keep, burn, kill. Super Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog, or the original Mega Man.
Keep the original Mega Man. Kill Mario and
play Sonic. All right. Like I said,
I'm 100% with that.
Because it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter which version it is. All of the fucking Sonic games are addictive and fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
About the only thing that could have been even worse with that is if you would have taken Crash Bandicoot, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Mario. That would have been a fucking hard one. Because Crash is awesome. Like, no matter how you play that, Crash is awesome. Mario gets massively overplayed. And Sonic is just addictive. So that would have been a really hard go. But no, that was an easy one.
The only other one I got left, if no one else had the answer, was like hardest games to keep.
Oh, we still got two to answer.
Mad.
I mean, I'd protect Mario. I mean, I'm gonna go just the classic casual route on that. Just protect Mario and kill Mega Man. I think for me, it's just it's the casual view. You know what I mean?
Mega Man didn't even get a chance to live.
And Sonic's fine. Sonic's good. You know, I actually played Sonic on Sega Genesis the other day at an arcade. It was fun.
I'm waiting for you, Spidey, because I already see your face. Like your face is telling me everything.
Man, listen. Don't waste my time, man. Listen, you know we gonna keep Sonic and we playing Mega Man. Mario is fat, flabby, slow. Get him the pack him the fuck up, man. Get Mario out of here, man. Why is he even in the conversation? Get him the fuck out of here. Give me Mega Man and Sonic, bro. I'm not keeping Mario over anybody. I wouldn't keep Mario over Yoshi. Get him the fuck out of here, man.
Oh shit! Damn! Well,
Imagine, I like
damn!
imagine.
Like he
Came
said,
in with a fire on that one.
Mm-hmm.
and the last one is
Damn.
just I would like to burn all these games for 300 because fuck all these 3 games I'm about to say. To keep save or burn the Lion King game,
Oh,
the
that could
Aladdin
just burn
game,
hell.
or the Adventures of Batman and Robin. Which one are you keeping, saving, and burning? And I say fuck all of these games.
I'm not sure I played any of those, to be honest.
Like
I played Lion King and Aladdin. Lion King can burn in hell. That was the worst ever Disney port I've ever played.
Yeah, the Wildebeest run was horrible.
PTSD happening. Okay, whew, I'm good. I'm fine.
So
fine.
I would play the Batman and Robin just because, you know, it's always fun no matter how many times you say it to say I'm Batman, and burn the other 2.
Aladdin wasn't bad. Aladdin wasn't terrible. It wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible. Put that up against Lion King, and you can make an argument to make Aladdin Game of the Year. Lion King is that bad.
The other 2.
Okay, that's taking Call of Duty and placing it against Pikmin. Come on.
The other 2 I got sent by my brother, but I don't think you guys would even care. Battle Royales, everyone in this group has agreed could go to hell and they wouldn't care. I think maybe Mad might be the only exception.
I would sleep better if I knew. I would sleep easy knowing I'm not playing Battle Royals anymore.
My brother sent me the one was called the Dark Souls trilogy. Which one are you burning, saving, and keeping? Elden Ring, Bloodborne, or Dark Souls 3? And I was like, I hate all of them.
Get Elden Ring the fuck out of here.
Wow, okay.
Like,
Okay.
I mean, they were fun. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they were fun, but they were definitely rage bait monsters for sure. That entire that entire genre is designed to rage bait.
Okay, so every other game, like I played a lot of RPGs, and that entire genre for me, it only says one thing. I can jump into Skyrim, I can kill a skeleton, and I'm like, all right, that's fucking awesome. That is the only genre where I see a skeleton and think, well, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Right?
Look, as many times as I had a sword woman cut me 300,000 different directions, and I just sat there and went, why am I playing this? I don't have to be here. I could go outside. Why am I doing this? I could be free, but I need to beat you for just because I have to.
Okay, if you want to go into that level, I mean, it's like playing the Remnant. Whenever you play Remnant, it doesn't matter how many times you do a playthrough, you're gonna die, and the only way to get better is to die. When playing Helldivers, the only way to get better is to die.
I mean,
and you personally know that the only way you're gonna do anything when you're teamed up with me is you're gonna die.
No, it's called I don't walk in front of you. I just stay 30 spaces back and go, have fun. I don't trust you in the game. Are you crazy?
You say that, and every time I say, hey, go do this, you're like, all right, what the fuck?
Trusting you in the game is like trusting a serial killer to watch my back. I'd rather not.
I feel like this would be such a fun time to watch you two stream Species Unknown together.
No. I would rather fight Spidey in Marvel Token when it comes out, knowing that I'm about to get my ass beat for 30 minutes straight and never come down because I watched him do all his juggle work. I'm good. I don't trust him. He is my best friend. I know him too well to know what's about to happen. I played Gears of War with him 1, 2, and 3. You know how many times I got impaled with a chainsaw so he could kill somebody else? 4,415. I counted every one of them. I have that record permanently burned in my head. I have been blown up by grenades 336 times. by my teammate. I've been hit with a hammer of dawn, 215 by my teammate.
In my defense, you wouldn't have been blown up by that grenade had you stayed where you were told to stay.
Sir, I am a grown ass man. I don't be told to stay in places.
If you were to tell somebody that they need to go in this direction as fast as they possibly can while you're loading a grenade launcher to bounce it off their head and then they stop 5 feet short, it is on them.
First of all, why are you bouncing grenades off my head? See, let's start with that tactical awareness that you just used.
Pause.
Angles. We got to play the angles.
Also, yes, pause. I'm the.
You said that man bouncing his grenades off your head? That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's crazy.
Well, if you play Division, it's real easy to do.
And that's why I don't play Division with you, because you leave me to die. Especially if I have all the loot. You do that.
Yeah, well.
Uh-huh. By the way, that's the Unpatched podcast. Thank you for all joining. I'm the Black Up. We got Mad Curious Gaming. We got Spidey, Maximum Spidey 2099. We got Sir Connor. And we got this degenerate over here. I'm not even gonna give him a name. He just gets to be a degenerate. Where can they find y'all? Where can they find y'all content? Please let the people know.
I'm on most of my stuff's on Twitch. I put my clips on TikTok, and I really suck at this content creation stuff. So
I got to
Mainly
get back
on
into
Twitch
creating
and Twitter,
content.
So
we got Twitch. Spidey, where can they find you at?
Hey, 2099 gaming on all platforms, everywhere.
You can find me at the Black Up basically everywhere. And
One of these times you're going to have to explain where your name came from, by the way.
You have really wanted me to explain where I got the name the Black Up from. You've been wanting this explanation for years. Would you really like to know? You think it's really that you like it? Fine.
I'm the one that came up with it, so.
I know, so why am I having to explain it to you? You came up with it. This is why I stopped playing shooters with you, for a reason. But I still love you nonetheless. Alright, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your night. It was a great time. I would like to do this again if y'all are free in like another 2 weeks to a month. We come back and we just like do this again and have some fun.
it was fun.
Okay.
sounds good. Sounds good.
I would have said bring drinks and make it better for y'all.
Yeah, maybe next time. Maybe next time.
But,
Mhm.
all right.
I mean, you know me, there's always a bar nearby.
Yeah.
Of course, you know what? I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Okay, you've seen my liquor cabinet, so.
Yes, I have. All right, all you get out of here. Enjoy.